Oh, right. Jocat's a Wiggler boy. Of course. This is meant as a joke and not at all super serious in that guide. Is it really necessary to put these disclaimers on joke videos? Any jabs I throw at anyone's way of playing the game are merely for comedic purposes only, especially when it comes to people's skill and performance and playing their role. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes or not playing 100% efficiently. Everybody does it. Nobody's perfect. I know what you're talking about. I never drop my rotation. Has any of you in chat ever seen me drop my rotation in Final Fantasy XIV? As any of you? No, you haven't. Let's be real. Nobody's ever seen me drop my rotation. These are lies. Floor tanking. Hey, I don't do that. I don't want that ban. You can't drop what you never had. Why are you so evil? So evil. My rotation is flawless. Put text on the coffee. It's hot. We'll burn you. Yeah.
What up, warriors of fartness? I bet you don't have the slightest clue how to play this eyeball-melting anime game. Oh, sure, you probably know that you can beat up enemies by clicking on them until they die, but do you know how to find a static in your FC to help you prog uwu? I bet you don't even know what any of those words mean, so sit down, shut up, and eat your gizzle greens, because I'm gonna teach you what thee mayhap not knoweth, thy noobliness. Welcome to a crap guide to Final Fantasy.
This episode tanks. Oh, I'm the
tank
best.
is the person in the front lines of every group, leading the charge to inevitable party wipes, which is because you are the most important person in the party, having slap fights with the boss since everybody else is way too squishy to handle the puss-pounding patty cake. You'll never see Jimmy's soft boots eyeing up the cloud of darkness with his 2x4 and scriggly tree branch. But how hard can tanking be? Turn on your tank stance, do your 1-2-3 combo, and blame the healers when you die, right? That sounds like somebody who needs their short Q privileges revoked. Firstly, tank stance. You turn this on to start gaining enmity. What's enmity? It's where you shout at the bad guys, "Hey, hit me!" They'll be paying attention to you so long as you're dealing damage, so you better be dealing damage and not just having a staring contest. If you don't, then they're gonna start indiscriminately charging at the rest of the party like a dog in a movie theater. If you are the designated main tank, or in light parties, the only tank, make sure this is on. If there is another tank in the party and you are the off tank, make sure this is off. Unless there's some other bad guys you gotta pull. If you have conflicting stances with the other tank, they will chuck their
No. Listen. Every time I go into a raid as a tank, this is very important. My stance is always on. Why? Because it is a dick measuring contest to see if I'm going to be able to beat the other tank's threat or not. This is very important for me so that I feel very validated when I beat the other tank's threat. This is how it goes, okay? This is how you actually play tank. It is very important that your stance is always on so that, you assert alpha dominance. Now, it is also important to mention taunting is cheating. Unless it's actually part of the boss's mechanic and you have to taunt. But other than that, taunting is cheating. Okay? Spam provoke and shirk the healers. Shirking the healers. That's good. Spam your long range attack. I know, Ketnet. I know it has. I've never done that. I didn't want it to say that part, Ketnet. Never done that. You've never seen me do that. You've never seen me spam. If I spam my ranged ability, it's because I'm out of range and there's AoEs in the way keeping me from getting to the boss. It is never with the intent of stealing enmity from the other tanks. I swear.
shoulder pads at you. As a tank, you should make sure the bad guy's ass is facing the party as often as possible, as indicated by the bright, glowing, half-eaten donut underneath the target. This is
depends. There's tail swipes in this game as well.
So that if the bad guy sneezes, you're the only one getting down with the sickness. And also, if your party has anyone playing any jobs that particularly likes to clap them cheeks, you've provided a bright, shiny spanking space. On top of this...
No. If there's classes that have positionals, what you have to do is you have to run around the... You guys remember how I used to actually do that? Because, I came from World of Warcraft, all right? It wasn't that big of a deal if I moved the boss a little bit. And I remember in the first couple of dungeons that I did, and even the first couple of raids that I did, everyone in my chat be like, "Why are you moving the boss? what are you doing? Like, not even the people in game. People in game are like, whatever, sprout tank, who cares, right? The people in my chat, stop moving. I was like, why? I'd literally be going like this. I'd be going like this. Because this is what I would do in WoW. I just like strafe left, strafe right, strafe left, strafe right. It's like, I would literally do this in WoW all the time. It was like, it's part of the thing. Like you're just like a little bit to the left, a little bit to. I would do this, so my chat would go wild. They were like, "What are you doing?" Especially Cosmos. Did Cosmos come in here like, "Stop moving! Why are you moving? There's positionals." Oh man. Yeah, okay, so maybe only I did that in WoW, okay? That's fine, but that's the way that I did it in WoW, okay? I need to be moving. I guess now that I think about it, it's because in World of Warcraft, there's so little for you to do as a tank. There's so little for you to do that you have time to just like fuck around and spin and do all kinds of crazy shit. Because there's almost nothing to do. You're just fucking sitting there, pressing like the same 3 or 4 buttons. There's nothing to do. Since we are talking positionals, are Monk really as bad as people say in videos and whatnot? Any class with practice in 14 is fine. Some classes are tougher than others. Monk, I think, happens to be one of the harder classes. But is like, I would not let something like that, you know, people saying that the class is hard, deter you from playing the class. Unless it's Summoner. You probably shouldn't play Summoner. No, I'm joking. Play whatever you want.
Tank, you are by Heidelin's blessings horrible at dancing, which is why you should move as little as possible once you've got the enemy's attention.
No, this
that
is
way
the
the party
proper
can
way.
continue to whap the wumpus without having to chase down the bad guy's glorious
This is the
booty. Just as
proper
well,
way.
because you have control of where the baddies are, you control how useful everybody else is. So if somebody puts down a useful AoE, stop fucking running away from it. Now that you have the baddie's attention and are in a nice cozy poking position,
we
you
have to talk about this. We have to talk about this, okay? Fuck you, Dark Knights, all right? What the fuck is this? Okay, this is cool. Even this is was a little bit confusing for me to understand. This is cool. This is cool. This is awesome. What the fuck is this? Okay? Why is the Dark Knight saying, why has it got to be red and black? Red and black just screams danger. Okay? You're looking at the ground. There's like some red and black aura in the ground. I'm like, fuck. There's like some terrible boss effect. I better move out of it. Like, seriously, why is the Dark Knight's thing like red and black? Because edge? Yeah, they have to be edgy. It's a dark pool of dark energy that does dark damage of darkness. Exactly, that's the problem. It's like, how is this one? Even this one was confusing. Like, I thought if I stood, I kid you not, the first time that I saw this, I thought if I stood in it, I would lose accuracy. I'm not joking. The first time that I saw, because this is the Monk's AoE, right? The first time I saw the Monk's AoE, I was like, if I stand this, it's probably going to be reducing my sharpness because this thing looks like it's accuracy. Because I think this thing looks like it's made out of sand or something. So if I'm going to lose accuracy, I better move the fuck away from it. Ninja? Okay, it's Ninja, whatever. But yeah, it's like the Dark Knight one, come on, dude. It should have been a different color.
AoE, stop fucking running away from it. Now that you have the baddie's attention and are in a nice cozy poking position, you don't have to worry about anything else, right? That's what I thought you'd say, you dumb fucking horse. Believe it or not, when you die, it's not entirely the healer's fault, just mostly their fault. That little bit of responsibility you have is based on how well you can juggle mitigation. What's mitigation? It's the buttons that make the bad guy's slaps hurt less that you sometimes press once a subscription and never think about again. You ever wonder why you have several of those buttons that all seem like they do the same thing? Well, that's because you're supposed to space them out over the course of a fight so the healers don't have to sacrifice their entire mana pool and firstborn child to get your frail ass through the dungeon. Remember?
No. Listen, when you use your cooldowns, here's how you do it. You use all of them at once and after you get hit. It's to ensure your survival. So you see the hit is coming, do nothing because he might not hit you. You might parry it. There's a lot of things that can happen, right? The hit is coming. You do nothing. After the monsters hit you, then you use all the cooldowns. All of them. Arm's length, fucking like, he's even got a list here. right? Where's the list? Like, once you get hit, if you're a paladin, this is it. Like, you go Sentinel, Sheltron, Passage of Arms? Maybe not Passage of Arms. No, actually, yeah, Passage of Arms. Fucking Ramparts, Reprisal, everything. Do all the things at once after you get hit. Also known as panic spamming. Exactly. Tank limit break 3. You got to make sure you hit that limit break 3 before anybody else does. Okay? Because if somebody else hits limit break 3 before you, you lost. It's that simple. Because only one person gets a limit break 3. So you got to make sure it's you. If it's not you, you lose. No, but seriously, this is actually... For a guy that's a bit of a joke, this is actually something really important that not enough people know about. And I say this as someone who's healed Sprout tanks, okay? And I'll tell you why. Because this is actually something that, for me, it came very much from a World of Warcraft mentality where, you know, you would have Shield Wall on a 5-minute cooldown, right? Which is like the one of the tanking cooldowns in WoW. So it's like, dude, I better save this shield wall for when it really counts. And then you look at all these cooldowns and you're like, I'm going to save these. I'm going to save them for when they count. And then you never use them because there's barely any reason to, because you can get through the dungeons without really using them if you want to. So let me tell you how I actually use these cooldowns, okay? Here's how the Rurikhan cooldown way. This one gets spammed on cooldown. Sheltron, spammed. Like the second it's up, I'm spamming the button. Give me that Sheltron, all right? This one's on cooldown. And then it's like, I'll do a pull in a dungeon. Usually will involve 2 or 3 packs, depending on which dungeon it is. I'll do the pull. Grab all the mobs, like do really quickly, do a couple of AoEs to ensure the mobs are on me. The second I've secured enough aggro, boom, pop Arm's Length followed by Reprisal. Why? Because Arm's Length slows their attacks and Reprisal reduces their damage by 10%. And I'm probably going to have Sheltron up anyways because I'm spamming that all the time. So all of these 3 will be in my first pull, usually. Then the second pull, again, 2 or 3 packs, I will pop Rampart and probably Sheltron. Because by then I'll probably have Sheltron again. If one of these 2 comes up, I'll save it. And then third pull, I'll do again these 2 plus Sheltron. If I ever get to the point where we're going through the dungeon so fast that I'm going to another pull before all of these things are up, then I'll pop this one. And you know, in emergency situations, I'll pop this one too. Except for one dungeon. There's actually one dungeon, which is one of the Amaro dungeons, the one with the sharks. That dungeon, on the very first pull, I'll pull all the things all the way into the fucking back with the last pack. And after I get everything on me, on there I actually pop Hallowed Ground, like big boy. Boom! Hallowed Ground. So it's like the healers get the mini heart attack when they see me running through the sharks. It's like, what is he doing? Stop! And I get there and I'm just like, nah, brah. Boom! Hallowed Ground. Big boy tanking mode. And then you start popping like all of your offensive CDs to just destroy everything too. But yeah.
Buttons that all seem like they do this.
Also, by the way, the best... oh, they don't have it here. He doesn't have it. I was going to say, the best Gunbreaker cooldown is actually not here. He didn't put Super Bullet here. Dude, it'd be so cool if you had Super Bullet here. Because, like, listen, guys, if you're a Gunbreaker, Super Bullet is the one thing that you want to use every single time, okay? Healers see Super Bullet and go like, you motherfucker! Super Bullet is the best tanking cooldown, dude. I wish I could have Super Bullet as a paladin.
Same thing. Well, that's because you're supposed to space them out over the course of a fight so the healers don't have to sacrifice their entire mana pool and firstborn child to get your frail ass through the dungeon. Remember not to bust your tanking load all at once or else you're going to feel a lot of shame when you're all out of juice and the boss still wants to go about...
No. Bust them all out at once. That's the way to do it.
4 more rounds. Every tank also has a press X to not die button that can be used to survive any devastating attack,
or
if you're a really aggressive paladin attack,
dude,
or if...
Wait, there it is. This right here is the best invulnerability in the game. Because not only it makes you invulnerable, it also gives the healer a heart attack and can actually get you killed. Because there's like a couple of milliseconds in between the super bullet actually activating and you being at 1 HP, where if you take one hit, you die. That's the best. You pop super balls like that. Literally 1 frame. I've died to that 1 frame. It's beautiful. Gunbreaker, more like Heartbreaker. It's so good.
Any devastating attacks, or if you're a really aggressive paladin who drew every enemy in a dungeon ever and don't want the healer to hire a hitman on you. As for what your limit break does, tanks are thicker than the average Disney mom, to the point your honky chonky donkey bahonky extends to the rest of the party, protecting them from damage up to a whopping 80% at LB3. The thing is, unless you're a high-end player, you'll probably be using tank LB as frequently as a good player rolls high on loot. Overall, you have 4 flavors to choose from: punk, grunge, metal, and Christian rock. There's warrior for big axes, big anger, big self-healing, and if you like to do fell cleaves again and again and again and again. If you prefer more brooding than cruding, the Dark Knight is great for doing your best guts impression. You get a huge ass sword, goopy black energy particle effects, and the literal best mitigation in the entire game. But it's
there you go. See, imagine if you don't play
sword, goopy black energy particle.
If you don't play Final Fantasy 14 regularly, or in my case, when I was getting started, what do you think this thing is doing? Like, there's a big fucking red ball in the middle. There's a big red and black circle all around you. What do you think every single time I saw it, I was like, I better get the fuck away. That thing looks dangerous. Right? Exactly. Look at me. It looks like a ball of death. Look at it. What do you expect? I would constantly, if you go back and watch some of the first dungeons that I've done, you'll probably see me quite often moving away from this. I'll be like, oh, this fucking red thing on the ground, better move away. Looks dangerous. Red, always the color of friendship. Doesn't look like fire, I don't move out of it. Okay, sure. The orange, guess what doesn't look like fire either, Shadowmancers? The orange markers. Okay, I have to pull this one up because this one is somewhat relevant. Let me see if I can find it. AoE, 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 overlapping AoEs. Better not move, better stay completely still, let everybody else do their thing. This is fine. Okay, I'll just stay in here. This is fine too. Boom. Like, look at yourself. That was like 2 stacked AoEs. Can we actually see those again? Wait. God damn it. I want to see his health go from like full to nothing. Wait, let's go playback speed 25. Two overlapping AoEs, and he's full health. Gets hit. Okay, he did get hit once. I love how he stopped moving. He's like, this is fine. Poof! And what is his instant reaction?
Where were the heels?
Where were the heels? Why didn't you heal me through that one shot? Just heal me through this one shot. God damn it. Where were the heals?
Where were the heels?
Poor Quinn, dude. He had no idea.
Where were the heels?
He just had absolutely no idea. Yeah, you do learn about these types of AoEs. I've mentioned that in a recent stream highlight that I did.
Effects and the literal best mitigation in the entire game, but it's balanced because they get the worst invulnerability button in the entire game. You press it and then it makes you die. Gunbreaker is called a tank, but everybody knows it's just 3 DPS and a
so true. Gunbreaker is just 3 DPS.
trench coat as designated by the fact you get a fucking gun and your swings explode. But you have to be a hardcore gamer since it requires a lot of cartridges. And finally the paladin, who tries to pretend they're a healer and caster, but only when the other healers and casters are looking. But fuck all that, because the most important thing is that you get the motherfucking sword and shield, baby! Yeah! Try getting behind this wall of holiness, bitch! Now you know how to play tank, you're welcome.
Try get behind this wall of holiness, bitch! That's some good shit. Healer next. He did one of these for healers?